Welcome, dear listener, to a journey designed to carry you from wakefulness into the deepest, most restorative sleep. My name is Arya, and I am so grateful to be your guide tonight on Winds of Thought. This is more than a story, it is an experience crafted to quiet your mind, relax your body, and transport your spirit to a place of profound peace. In the moments ahead, allow my voice to become a gentle current, leading you away from the day's concerns and into a state of serene stillness. The music and ambient sounds you hear will continue long after the narrative ends, providing a soft, sonic blanket for your slumber. To create the perfect environment for uninterrupted rest, I encourage you to set a timer using YouTube's feature and to disable autoplay. If this journey brings you comfort, consider subscribing to our channel and leaving a thumbs up. It helps us create more content like this. Now, let us begin. Wherever you are, make yourself completely comfortable. Adjust your pillows, let your limbs grow heavy, and when you feel ready, allow your eyelids to flutter closed. Take your first conscious breath with me now. Inhale slowly, deeply, through your nose, and exhale fully through your mouth. Again. Inhale a sense of calm, exhale any lingering tension. Let this be a signal to your entire being that it is time to let go, to release, and to rest. Notice the points where your body meets the bed or the chair, the gentle pressure of your head on the pillow, the support beneath your back, the comfort enveloping you. With every exhale, imagine sinking just a little deeper into that support, as if the surface beneath you is softening to perfectly cradle your form. Now, bring your awareness to your feet. Consciously release any hold in your toes, your arches, your ankles. Let them grow warm and heavy. Move that wave of relaxation upward, to your calves and your knees, feeling all effort melting away. Let it flow into your thighs, your hips, and your lower back, areas that often hold the weight of the day. Sense them softening, supported, releasing. Let the relaxation rise through your torso, your stomach, your chest, each breath becoming easier, more effortless. Feel your shoulders drop away from your ears, your arms becoming loose and limp, your hands resting peacefully. Finally, let that soothing wave travel up your neck, over your scalp, and across your face, smoothing your brow, relaxing your jaw, and easing the space behind your eyes. Your entire body is now embraced by a deep, comforting heaviness. You are safe, you are supported, you are at peace. As you rest in this tranquil state, imagine a soft, silver mist beginning to form at the edges of your awareness. It gently curls and swirls, slowly obscuring the details of the room around you, the worries of the day, the mental lists yet to be completed. This mist is a veil of transition, carrying you from your world into the world of our story. You feel weightless, cradled by this cloud of mist, drifting gently, effortlessly. The only sounds are the rhythm of your own breath and the distant, soothing melody that surrounds us. You are floating now, untethered, perfectly at ease. And as you float, the mist begins to clear, not to return you to where you were, but to reveal a new scene forming below you. You see the soft, twinkling lights of a city at night, spread out like a blanket of stars upon the earth. The air is crisp and cold, and a silent blanket of fresh snow covers everything, glowing with a pure, blue-white light under a vast, velvet sky. You are drifting over Paris, the city of lights, but at this hushed hour, it is more the city of quiet dreams. The famous boulevards are still and empty. The windows of apartments are dark, their inhabitants wrapped in their own stories of sleep. The mighty Seine River flows silently, a dark ribbon edged with frost, reflecting the occasional street lamp. You descend closer, the quiet becoming palpable, a peaceful silence broken only by the distant, gentle chime of a church bell marking the hour. It is 3 o'clock in the morning. While the world sleeps, a few keep watch, and their quiet routines are about to begin. Our story starts with one of them. In the 7th arrondissement, on a narrow street just a stone's throw from the Musée d'Orsay, there is a small, unassuming patisserie called Le Rêve du, the Sweet Dream. Its facade is painted a soft, creamy yellow, and its dark green shutters are closed tight against the winter night. Above the shop, in an apartment that has been home to bakers for over a century, a man named Jacques stirs. He does not wake to an alarm, for his body knows this rhythm as well as it knows the rhythm of his own heart. 6 days a week, as the deepest part of the night holds sway, Jacques opens his eyes. He lies still for a moment, listening to the deep, even breathing of his wife, Camille, asleep beside him. He feels a familiar fondness, a warmth that contrasts with the chill in the air. Carefully, he slips out from beneath the thick down duvet, his feet finding the worn, wooden floorboards that hold the warmth of the sleeping building. He pads quietly to the window and eases open the shutter just a crack. The sight that greets him never grows old. The rooftops of Paris are a series of gentle slopes and angular shadows, all dusted in snow. The dome of the Les Invalides shines palely in the distance. The world is utterly still, bathed in the cool light of a waning moon and a million sharp, winter stars. This is his secret time. In these hours, the bustling, vibrant city is his alone, a silent, beautiful, sleeping giant. He takes 3 long, centering breaths, watching the ghostly plume of each one vanish into the dark room. In and out. In, feeling the calm settle in his bones, and out, releasing the last traces of sleep. He feels a sense of purpose, not a burden, but a calling. This is his legacy and his love. He dresses in simple, warm clothes, a thick cotton shirt, durable trousers, a heavy wool sweater that Camille knit for him years ago. The rituals are comforting, splashing water on his face, the familiar bristles of his toothbrush. He does not turn on bright lights, moving instead by the faint moonlight and memory. He kisses his fingers and gently presses them to Camille's shoulder before leaving the bedroom. He descends a narrow, spiral staircase, its iron railing cool under his hand, each step creaking a familiar song that echoes through the silent building. The bakery below is a temple of flour, yeast, and butter. The air, even now, carries the faint, sweet ghost of yesterday's baking. Jacques' first task is to wake the heart of this temple, the old, brick-lined oven that dominates the far wall. It is a massive, beautiful beast, passed down from his grandfather. He opens its heavy iron door and begins to build a fire with seasoned applewood, his movements economical and practiced. The match strikes with a crisp hiss, and the kindling catches, emitting a soft, orange glow. He adds larger pieces of wood, and soon, a gentle, crackling conversation begins, the fire coming to life. The popping and sighing of the wood is the first real sound of the day, a sound of warmth and creation. He closes the door, leaving the fire to grow, and the iron begins to tick softly as it heats. In the growing warmth, Jacques turns on a single, pendant light over the large, central work table, its worn marble surface etched with decades of use. He stands for a moment, his hands resting on the cool stone, and looks around. The bowls, the scales, the rolling pins are all in their places. The giant refrigerator hums quietly. In this quiet, he feels the presence of his father, his grandmother, all the hands that have worked in this space before him. He is not just making bread, he is continuing a story, tending a flame that has burned for generations. It is a profound and humble feeling. He retrieves a large, rounded mound of dough from the cooler, the levain, or sourdough starter, that is the soul of his bread. It is alive, having fermented slowly overnight. He weighs and portions it with a gentle touch. Then begins the folding, the kneading. His hands, strong and capable, push and fold, in a rhythm that is a form of meditation. The dough is cool and elastic, coming to life under his touch. He is not thinking of the steps, his mind is quiet, focused on the feel of the dough, the sound of the fire, the peace of the night. This is where he finds his center. The repetitive motion allows his thoughts to settle and fade, just as we are allowing ours to fade now. With each push, he releases. With each fold, he lets go. He thinks of the snow outside, covering everything in a clean, white sheet. He imagines his worries, his slight stresses, being covered in the same way, gentled, quieted, made beautiful. The dough becomes smoother, more cohesive, a perfect, living thing ready to transform in the heat of the oven. After the bread, he turns to the pastries. He takes a large slab of cold, high butter content dough and begins the meticulous process of laminating, folding and rolling, creating hundreds of delicate layers that will, in the oven's heat, rise into the flaky, golden architecture of a perfect croissant. The rolling pin makes a soft, whispery sound as it moves across the marble. The scent of cold, pure butter begins to mingle with the smell of wood smoke. Time loses meaning in this quiet, purposeful work. The world outside the bakery window remains a silent, blue-black canvas. Jacques is in his own universe of creation, a solitary artist whose medium is warmth and comfort. He shapes baguettes, their slashes made with a razor in one confident motion. He fills delicate pot au choux with whispers of vanilla cream. He places pear halves on a bed of frangipane, arranging them like petals. Each action is performed with care, with an almost reverential attention. This is his gift to the waking city, a gift of beauty, of nourishment, of a moment of pleasure in a busy day. As he works, a sense of deep contentment fills him. He is exactly where he is meant to be, doing exactly what he is meant to do. The fire is now roaring steadily behind the iron door, and the entire bakery is infused with a dry, radiant heat. The first trays of pastries are ready for their proofing, their final rise before baking. Jacques pauses to wipe his forehead with the back of his wrist. He walks back to the small window by the door and looks out. The snow has begun to fall again, thick, fluffy flakes drifting down like feathers in the still air. They catch the glow of the street lamp outside, swirling in a silent, mesmerizing dance. He watches, captivated by the simple, quiet beauty. The city is not just sleeping, it is being gently tucked in, layer by soft, white layer. And as Jacques stands there, witnessing the peaceful snowfall, we too can visualize it. See the flakes dancing slowly, soundlessly. Feel the profound quiet that a snowfall brings, how it seems to soften every edge and muffle every sound, creating a world of hushed wonder. Let that quiet seep into you. Let the gentle, swirling visual calm your mind. Your breathing has slowed, your body is heavy, and you are floating alongside these snowflakes, equally untroubled, equally serene. Jacques will soon return to his ovens, but for now, he simply watches, and we watch with him, held in this perfect, peaceful pause between night and day. As Jacques turns back to his work, the scent of baking bread beginning to perfume the air, let us float gently away from the warm glow of Le Rêve Doux. The swirling snow carries us across the sleeping Seine, its dark waters moving slowly beneath bridges adorned with frosted stone statues. We drift over the Al-Dala site, where the great Cathedral of Notre Dame stands in silent, majestic repair, its flying buttresses like the bones of a slumbering giant dusted with powdered sugar. The snow mutes all sound, creating a world of profound quiet. You are still deeply relaxed, your breath slow and even, your body heavy and warm. Let the peaceful scene below lull you deeper. With each exhalation, imagine you are releasing a tiny, weightless snowflake into the night, letting go of one more thought, one more concern. We float toward a vast, magnificent complex of buildings that seem to form a palace of stone and glass. This is the Louvre. By day, it teems with thousands of visitors from every corner of the globe. But now, in the deepest hour of the night, it is a temple of silence. Its countless windows are dark, its courtyards empty seas of white. We descend through the falling snow toward the famous glass pyramid, which glows with a soft, internal light, a geometric jewel in the snowy expanse. We pass through the glass as if it is mist, entering the grand hall beneath. It is utterly still here. The usual echoes of footsteps and chatter have been replaced by a hum of silence so deep you can almost hear it. The air is cool and carries a faint, clean scent of stone, polished wood, and history. In a small security office tucked away near the Egyptian antiquities section, a young woman named Sophie is halfway through her night shift. She is an art student, and this job is her secret paradise. She sits before a bank of monitors, each showing a different, empty gallery, a silent film of stillness. She sips from a mug of mint tea, its steam curling in the lamplight. On her desk is a sketchbook, open to a half-finished drawing of a sculpture from the Greek antiquities wing. Sophie looks up from her monitors and stretches. It is time for her hourly patrol. This is the moment she waits for. She stands, clips her radio to her belt, and pulls on a soft, wool cardigan over her uniform. She steps out of the office into the breathtaking emptiness of the Sully wing. Her soft-soled shoes make no sound on the parquet floor. You are with her, floating just beside her, a silent companion in this private museum. The scale is almost overwhelming. Hallways stretch into darkness, grand archways lead into larger rooms, and everywhere there is art, paintings covering every inch of wall, sculptures standing sentinel in niches and on pedestals. But without the crowds, the art feels different. It feels like it is breathing, resting, existing purely for its own sake. Sophie's first stop is always the same. She walks through the Roman antiquities, past busts of emperors with sightless marble eyes, and enters the room of the Venus de Milo. The goddess stands alone under a soft spotlight, her graceful, armless form radiating a serene power. Sophie stops a few feet away, as she has done 100 times before. She once wrote in her journal that seeing the Venus alone at night is like catching a mythical being in a moment of private contemplation. The statue seems more alive now, as if the absence of gawking crowds allows her true presence to emerge. Sophie takes a deep breath, mirroring the statue's stillness, and for a moment, she simply shares the space with this ancient idea of beauty. It fills her with a quiet awe. Let that awe fill you too, a sense of wonder that requires no words, only feeling. She moves on, her path a familiar ritual. She passes through the Apollo Gallery, where the ceiling is a riot of gilded frescoes. She doesn't look up tonight, she can feel the opulence hovering above her like a celestial blanket. Instead, she moves toward the Denon wing. Her heart, as always, beats a little faster. For in that wing lies the object of her nightly pilgrimage, the Mona Lisa. Normally, one must fight through a throng to glimpse her behind bulletproof glass. But now she is alone. Sophie enters the Salle des Etats. The room is cavernous, built to accommodate the crowds. At the far end, on a freestanding wall, hangs the small, iconic portrait. From this distance, in the low security lighting, it is just a dark rectangle. Sophie walks slowly forward, her footsteps the only sound in the vast space. As she draws closer, details emerge, the subtle landscape, the famous folds of the gown, and finally, that face. The enigmatic smile seems different at night, softer, more inward, as if Lisa Gerardini is sharing a secret with the darkness. Sophie stops at the velvet rope barrier, which at this hour is just a formality. She could step over it, but she never does. This respect is part of the ritual. She thinks of Leonardo da Vinci, not as a distant genius, but as a man who spent years layering thin glaze upon thin glaze, patiently seeking to capture the elusive light of a human soul. She imagines his studio, the smell of linseed oil and wood, the concentration in his eyes. The painting is not just an image, it is time made physical, a moment of intense observation stretched across centuries and now meeting Sophie's own gaze in the quiet. She feels a connection that transcends time, a thread linking all who have ever stood in genuine contemplation before a work of art. It is a feeling of profound peace and belonging. Allow yourself to feel that connection now, a sense that you are part of something vast and beautiful, simply by being present in this moment of rest. Sophie stays for a long while, until the cool air of the gallery raises goosebumps on her arms. She reluctantly turns and continues her patrol, walking through the Italian Renaissance galleries. Titian's sumptuous colors are muted in the dim light, Caravaggio's dramatic shadows seem deeper and more profound. She feels like a ghost drifting through the dreams of history. As she walks, her mind begins to unwind, her own worries about exams, about her future, losing their sharp edges in the face of such enduring beauty. The art whispers without words, everything passes. Only beauty and the human spirit remain. Her breathing slows, syncing with the peaceful rhythm of the night. Your breathing slows further too, matching hers, deep and calm. She finds herself in the Near Eastern Antiquities section, standing before the massive, winged bull statues from ancient Assyria. These lamassu were meant to guard palace gates, to intimidate. But tonight, they seem merely protective, their great wings folded, watching over the sleeping museum. Sophie leans against a wall, feeling a wave of deep tiredness mixed with contentment. The walk has soothed her. She closes her eyes for just a moment, listening to the absolute silence. In that silence, you can hear your own heartbeat, steady and reassuring. Thump, thump, thump. A gentle metronome of life. Her radio crackles softly with a static check from the central security desk. She responds in a whisper, her voice seeming too loud for the sacred quiet. The exchange is over in seconds, and the silence returns, even deeper than before. She decides to take the long way back to the office, through the less visited galleries of decorative arts. Here, in glass cases, lie exquisite treasures, a jeweled snuff box that once belonged to a king, a delicate porcelain shepherdess, a clock so ornate it seems to tell time only for angels. The intimate scale of these objects feels comforting after the grand galleries. They speak of private joys, of small, beautiful moments in human lives long ended. They remind Sophie that beauty exists not only in grand monuments but in delicate, careful details, just as the beauty of this night exists in the delicate pattern of snow on a windowsill, or the careful detail of your own calm breathing. As she finally approaches her office door, she takes one last look down the long, dark hallway she has just traversed. She feels a swell of gratitude, for this job, for this silent communion, for the privilege of witnessing such beauty alone. She steps inside, the warmer air enveloping her. She sits, takes another sip of now tepid tea, and looks at her sketchbook. She doesn't pick up her pencil. She simply breathes, absorbing the peace. Outside, the snow continues to fall, blanketing the Louvre's courtyards and pyramids, sealing the museum in a bubble of timeless quiet. Sophie's watchful eyes grow heavy, but her mind is clear and calm. She has found her center in the heart of the silent galleries. And as she keeps her vigil, you too are vigilant in your relaxation, watching over your own inner peace, guarding it as preciously as Sophie guards her treasures. Let this deep, museum-like quiet settle into every cell of your body. You are safe. You are still. You are at peace. As Sophie's eyelids grow heavy in her quiet office, let us drift once more on the currents of the night, leaving the hushed halls of art for the open streets. The snowfall is beginning to lessen, the flakes now sparse and lazy. You are still deeply relaxed, cradled in the quiet. With each breath, imagine you are breathing in this crisp, clean night air and breathing out a soft, white mist. Your body feels heavier, warmer, perfectly at peace as we float above the rooftops. We follow the curve of the Seine eastward, past the Ile St. Louis with its uniform, elegant homes, and toward a wider, busier artery of the city. Here, the silence is occasionally broken by a new sound, the soft, wet whisper of tires on snow-covered pavement. On the Rue de Rivoli, a single taxi, its rooftop light glowing like a lonely star, moves with a slow, patient grace. Inside this taxi is a man named Luc. For him, the night is not a time for art or baking, but for movement and contemplation. He is a night driver, a connoisseur of the city's hidden, nocturnal self. Luc has been driving these streets for 20 years. He knows every boulangerie that fires its ovens at 3 a.m., every hospital with its perpetual glow, every bridge where couples stop to look at the view, even in the snow. But he prefers nights like this, when the tourists are asleep and the city belongs to its true inhabitants, the cleaners, the bakers, the police, and drivers like him. The frantic energy of the day has dissolved, replaced by a spacious, slow-motion calm. He drives with the window cracked open, the cold air keeping him alert, the sound of the tires on snow a soothing, rhythmic shush. Let that rhythm become your rhythm. Shush, shush, shush. Like the sound of gentle waves on a shore. With each pass of the tires, feel yourself drifting deeper. Luc turns onto the Pont Neuf, the oldest bridge in Paris. He slows the car almost to a stop, despite there being no other traffic. He does this every night. From the center of the bridge, the view is breathtaking. To his right, the Al de la Cite sleeps, with the square towers of Notre Dame rising solemnly. To his left, the Louvre stretches along the bank, its windows dark. Ahead, the Eiffel Tower stands across the river, its latticed ironwork illuminated and dusted with snow, an intricate lace sculpture against the sky. The snow reflects the tower's amber light, making the whole scene glow with a warm, otherworldly radiance. Luc turns off the engine. For a few minutes, he just looks. He remembers coming here as a boy with his father, who was also a taxi driver. He remembers his first date with his wife, Claudine, right on this bridge. The city is not just a map to him, it is a living scrapbook of his life. Every corner holds a memory, a story. In the daytime, with traffic honking and crowds jostling, those stories are hard to hear. But now, in the pristine quiet, they come back to him, clear and sweet. He feels a profound gratitude that this is his home, that he gets to see its most vulnerable, beautiful self. He breathes in the cold, grateful air. Let that feeling of gratitude wash over you now. Think of one simple thing you are grateful for, the warmth of your bed, the quiet of this moment, and hold it in your heart like a small, warm light. The radio dispatcher crackles, a voice asking for a car near the Gare de Lyon train station. Luc starts the engine, the sound muffled by the snow, and pulls away from his vista. He heads south, the tires cutting fresh tracks in the inch of snow that has accumulated. He passes the Grand Opera House, its facade like a giant, ornate wedding cake. He drives by a park where the bare, black branches of the trees are outlined in perfect white, each one a delicate drawing against the night. The world is a black and white photograph, serene and starkly beautiful. He picks up his fare at the station, a weary-looking nurse just finishing her shift at a nearby hospital. She gives him an address in the 14th arrondissement and leans her head against the window, asleep almost before Luc merges back into the street. He drives with extra care, avoiding sudden movements, becoming not just a driver but a guardian of her brief respite. This too is part of his purpose, to ferry tired souls safely through the sleeping city. He feels a sense of responsibility and quiet pride in it. After dropping the nurse at her apartment building, he doesn't immediately seek another fare. Instead, he drives toward Montparnasse. He has a personal tradition. He parks near the Tour Montparnasse, the lone modern skyscraper that many Parisians dislike. But from its shadow, you get one of the best views of the city's historic heart. He gets out of the taxi again, stamping his feet lightly in the snow. From here, the city is a rolling sea of gray rooftops, church spires, and monuments, all softened and unified by the snow, leading the eye to the glowing Eiffel Tower in the distance. It is a view of order and beauty, a testament to centuries of human living piled upon living. Luc stands there, a small figure in a vast, silent tableau, feeling both insignificant and completely connected. The cold begins to seep through his coat, a pleasant, bracing feeling that makes the warmth waiting at home seem even more precious. He gets back in the taxi, the heated seat a welcome comfort. As he drives, his mind wanders to his family. Claudine will be asleep, her hair fanned out on the pillow. His two daughters, now teenagers, are certainly dreaming in their rooms. He thinks of the simple, solid goodness of his life, the meals shared, the laughter around the table, the quiet understanding that runs between them all. It is not a dramatic life, but it is a deeply satisfying one, built on small, consistent acts of care, much like his driving. This realization brings him a deep calm. Let that calm be your calm. You are also on a journey toward rest. And you are being guided, cared for, just as Luke cares for his passengers. His next call takes him to the outskirts of the city, near the Périphérique, the ring road that circles Paris. He picks up a young man, an airport worker heading to Charles de Gaulle for the early shift. They drive north, the urban landscape gradually giving way to wider roads and industrial zones. The conversation is minimal, just a few mumbled words. Luke focuses on the road, the hypnotic rhythm of the windshield wipers clearing away the occasional flurry. The world outside becomes a blur of white and orange streetlights. The young man drifts off to sleep, and Luke is alone again with his thoughts and the road. He thinks about the interconnectedness of it all, the baker making bread for the nurse, the museum guard protecting art for the tourist who will come tomorrow, the airport worker fueling planes that carry people like the flight attendants who crisscross the globe. An invisible web of service and silent shifts, all weaving together to make the city function, to make the world turn. He is a single thread in that web, and that is enough. This thought brings him immense peace. Your own place in the world is enough. In this moment, your only task is to rest, and that is a vital and worthy task. As he approaches the airport's glowing terminals, the first faint hint of indigo begins to lighten the eastern sky behind the clouds. The deep night is softening, preparing for its transition. He drops the young man at Terminal 2, exchanges a sleepy merci, and watches him walk inside. Luke turns the taxi around, beginning the journey back toward the heart of the city. He is tired now, a good, honest tiredness earned from a night of useful work. He craves his own bed, his own quiet corner of the world. But first, he has one more stop to make, a final ritual to complete his night. He points the taxi back toward the 7th arrondissement, toward a certain little pâtisserie where the lights have been glowing for hours, and where the smell of baking bread now spills out into the dawn like a promise. We will travel with him there, but first, settle even deeper. The rhythm of the road, the fading night, the promise of warmth, let them all lull you into a state of perfect readiness for sleep. You are safe. You are journeying. You are almost home. Luke's taxi moves through the pre-dawn streets, which are now etched with a single set of tire tracks in the fresh snow. The world is a study in monochrome, a paused film. Inside the cab, warmth hums. Inside you, a similar warmth has settled, a deep and heavy comfort that holds you securely. Let the gentle motion of our narrative carry you, as the taxi carries Luke, toward a point of light and warmth. You are so deeply relaxed, your breathing is almost imperceptible, a soft tide in a sheltered harbor. He turns onto the narrow street where Le Rêve Doux is nestled. Even from the end of the block, he can see the golden glow from the bakery's front window, a beacon in the blue-gray dawn. And more than that, he can smell the scent of baking bread, that profound, simple, universally comforting aroma, winds through the cold air like an invisible thread, pulling him forward. It is the smell of home, of morning, of sustenance. He parks the taxi, turns off the engine, and sits for a moment in the sudden quiet, appreciating the culmination of his night. The silence is different now, it is not the deep silence of midnight, but a fragile, expectant one, as if the city is holding its breath before the first exhalation of day. He steps out into the cold, the snow crunching satisfyingly under his boots, and walks to the bakery door. Inside, the world is a symphony of warmth and fragrance. Jacques is behind the counter, transferring a rack of perfectly golden baguettes from a canvas couche to a long, woven basket. His face is flushed from the oven's heat, and he looks up with a tired but genuine smile. "Luke, Right on time, Jacques says, his voice a little hoarse from the quiet night. The tradition is just cool enough. You are a saint, Jacques, Luc replies, his own voice soft in the cozy space. He breathes in deeply. This smell, it is better than any alarm clock. Jacques wraps a still warm baguette in crisp white paper and hands it over. The exchange is more than commercial, it is a ritual of mutual respect between two night workers. Luc pays, and they share a few words about the snow, about the quiet night. No need for more. Luc takes the bread, the heat seeping through the paper into his hands, a portable piece of comfort. See you tomorrow night, he says, lifting the bread in a small salute. Sleep well, Luc, Jacques responds, already turning back to his next batch of pastries. Luc returns to his taxi, placing the precious cargo on the passenger seat. He starts the car and begins the final leg of his journey, out of the city center toward his home in the leafy suburb of Montrouge. The baguette scent fills the cab, a promise of the simple breakfast he will share with his family in a few hours. He drives with a light heart, his work complete, a small prize earned. We will leave him here, on the road toward his waiting bed, and let our awareness float upward, higher than the rooftops, higher than the fading stars, into a realm of endless, dark blue. For while the earthbound souls of Paris have moved through their nightly routines, another has been tracing a silent path across the sky. Let your mind drift up now, effortlessly, as if you are as weightless as a feather on a thermal. The city shrinks below, becoming a shimmering cluster of light veiled by cloud and snow, and then you are above the clouds themselves. They stretch out like a second, softer landscape, a rolling moonlit desert of white. Here, the silence is absolute, profound, and the stars are not mere pinpricks but brilliant, hard diamonds in a velvet dome. In this realm, a giant machine of human ingenuity sails smoothly. It is an Airbus A350, an elegant, winged vessel flying at 500 miles per hour. Inside, in the dimmed cabin, most passengers are asleep, wrapped in blankets, heads resting against windows. In the galley at the rear, a flight attendant named Amélie is preparing for descent. She has just finished a long-haul flight from Seoul. Her body feels the familiar, disjointed weariness of crossing time zones, a hollow tiredness in her bones, but her mind is alert, soothed by the peaceful cabin. She moves with a practiced, fluid grace, stowing coffee pots, checking seat belts. Her uniform is crisp, her smile, though tired, is ready. She looks out the small porthole window next to her. Far below, through a break in the clouds, she can see the familiar outline of Europe, the coastlines etched in faint silver by the moon. She knows they are over Germany now, speeding toward France. A deep, quiet excitement stirs within her. No matter how many times she does this, the homeward approach always sparks a little joy. Paris is not just her base, it is her anchor, her story. She grew up in a small town in Provence, but the city claimed her heart as a young woman. Its beauty, its rhythm, its layers of history feel like a part of her own anatomy. She leans her forehead against the cool plastic of the window. At this altitude, the world seems so peaceful, so untouched. The conflicts and noise of the ground are invisible. All she sees is the majestic, silent turning of the planet, the first delicate blush of peach and rose beginning to bleed into the indigo at the distant horizon, the very first hint of dawn seen from the front lines of the night. It is a privileged sight, one that never fails to fill her with a sense of wonder and perspective. She thinks of her grandmother, who never left her village, and feels a simultaneous pang of distance and incredible fortune. Her life is one of movement, of between places, but it always arcs back to Paris. Let that feeling of returning, of moving toward a place of comfort and belonging, resonate within you. You too are on a return journey, a return to deep, nourishing sleep, to your own center of peace. The captain's voice comes softly over the speaker, announcing in French and then in English that they have begun their initial descent toward Paris Charles de Gaulle. The local time is 5:30 a.m. The cabin begins to stir slightly. A baby fusses softly, a man in business class asks for water. Amelie slips back into her professional mode, attending to these small requests with a quiet, reassuring presence. She is a guardian of this transitional space, this metal tube between worlds, helping people move from one reality to another with as much grace as possible. As she hands the man his water, she catches another glimpse out the window. The cloud cover is thickening below them, but she knows what lies beneath: the frozen fields of Ile-de-France, then the sprawling suburbs, then the dense, historic heart. She thinks of what awaits her. A taxi ride through the quiet, post-dawn city. The sight of her own street, her own blue door. The bliss of a hot shower washing away the recycled air of the cabin. And then, her own ritual: before going home to sleep, she will stop at a certain bakery. Not just any bakery, but one in the 7th that opens early and whose croissants are, in her professional opinion as a global traveler, the finest in the world. She imagines the flaky, buttery layers dissolving on her tongue, the rich coffee that will accompany it. This small, sensual pleasure is her reward, her touchdown ceremony. The anticipation is a pleasant warmth in her stomach. The plane bumps gently as it enters the cloud layer. The world outside turns opaque, rushing gray. The wings shimmer with tiny, crystallized ice droplets. Inside, the lighting shifts subtly, preparing for landing. Amelie takes her jump seat for final approach, fastening her harness. She closes her eyes, not to sleep, but to center herself. She listens to the changing drone of the engines, feels the slight pressures as the pilots make their adjustments. In this moment, she is entirely present, a point of calm in the procedure. Her breathing slows, deep and even. Match your breath to hers. In and out. In, a deep, cleansing breath, and out, releasing the last vestiges of wakefulness. You are descending too, descending beautifully into deeper layers of relaxation. The plane breaks through the bottom of the clouds. Rain? No. Snow. A gentle, pre-dawn snow is still falling over the Paris region. The runway lights of Charles de Gaulle stretch out ahead, glowing orbs in the gray, their guidance precise and comforting. The wings level. The giant machine, which has soared over continents and oceans, now greets the ground with a gentle, whispered kiss as the tires make contact with the wet tarmac. A soft reverse thrust, a slowing, a turn onto a taxiway. They have arrived. The night's journey through the sky is complete. Amelie unfastens her harness, a small, final click, and stands to begin the welcome protocol, her voice warm and clear over the PA system: Bienvenue à Paris. Down below, in his bakery, Jacques is sliding the final tray of pains au chocolat from the oven. The first true light of dawn, a pale, watery gray, is seeping into the sky. The snow has almost stopped. The city is beginning, just beginning, to wake. And somewhere on the airport tarmac, Amelie is gathering her things, her heart already turning toward the city, the snow, and the promise of a perfect croissant. All the threads of the night are drawing together, converging toward a single, peaceful, nourishing point. We will arrive at that point together in our final part. For now, rest in this feeling of approach, of gentle homecoming. You are so close to perfect peace. The dawn is not a sudden event, but a gentle unveiling. The gray light softens the edges of the night, turning the sky to the color of a dove's feather. The snow has finally ceased, leaving Paris pristine and hushed under a blanket of flawless white. In his bakery, Jacques places the last basket of bread on the counter and finally, for the first time in hours, turns off the massive oven. The residual heat will keep the space warm, but the fierce, creative fire is now banked. He stands in the sudden relative quiet, the only sounds the faint tick of cooling metal and the soft hum of the refrigerator. He feels the good, deep ache in his shoulders, the pleasant weariness of a task beautifully completed. The shop is a masterpiece of his craft: rows of golden baguettes, plump bowls, glazed pastries shining like jewels, and a tower of buttery, layered croissants. The air is so thick with the perfume of baked goods it feels nourishing simply to breathe it. As he unties his flour-dusted apron, the little bell above the shop door jingles. He looks up, and his face breaks into a warm, familiar smile. It is Amelie, the flight attendant, still in her uniform, a small wheeled suitcase behind her. A faint aura of distant skies and altitude clings to her, but her eyes are bright with homecoming. Jacques. "You have saved one for me?" she asks, her voice a touch raspy from the dry cabin air. "For you, Amelie?" "Always the best one," he says, selecting a croissant so perfectly formed it seems almost a sculpture. He places it in a small bag. "A long flight?" "Seoul. But it feels shorter when this is at the end," she says, accepting the bag and breathing in the scent. She closes her eyes for a second in pure pleasure. This is the true welcome. They exchange a few more words, comments on the snow, the quiet morning. It is a brief, warm exchange between two people who share the strange hours, who understand the world while it sleeps. Amelie pays, gives a weary but happy wave, and steps back out into the dawn, heading toward her apartment, her prize in hand. Jacques watches her go, then turns to wipe down the marble counter one final time. Just as he finishes, the door chimes again. This time, it is Sophie. Her night shift at the Louvre is over. She has walked through the slowly brightening streets, the snow crunching under her boots, the images of silent art still glowing in her mind. She needs a baguette for her own breakfast before she sleeps. "Sophie. You look like you've seen a ghost," Jacques jokes gently, seeing her thoughtful, faraway expression. She smiles. "Only the beautiful, quiet ghosts of art, Jacques. A quiet night. A baguette tradition, please." He hands her the still warm loaf. "A quiet night is a gift," he muses, and she nods in profound agreement. She too departs, the bread tucked under her arm, walking toward the metro station, ready to descend into the earth and travel home to her dreams of canvases and marble. Jacques is alone again. He hears the familiar sound of a taxi pulling up outside. He doesn't need to look to know it is Luc, finishing his final run home. But Luc does not come in this time. Jacques sees him give a small wave from the driver's seat before pulling away, the red taillights disappearing down the blanched street. The ritual is complete. Jacques locks the front door of the pâtisserie. His work is done. He climbs the stairs, each step a little heavier than the last. In the apartment, he can hear the soft sounds of his wife, Camille, beginning to stir. He enters the bedroom, where the warmth and soft light are a palpable comfort. He changes quietly and slips into bed beside his sleeping wife. The cool sheets quickly warm around him. He stretches his tired muscles, a long, full body stretch that ends in a sigh of deep relief. He turns on his side, nestles his head into the pillow, and feels the weight of the night's work transform into the weight of approaching sleep. His breathing slows, deepens. Within minutes, he is journeying into a dreamless, restorative void. At that same moment, Amelie is unlocking her blue door. She is home. The familiar smells of her apartment, lavender soap, old books, greet her. She follows her ritual, the shower, the soft robe. Then, in her quiet kitchen, she pours a large cup of coffee and places the croissant on a plate. She sits by the window, watching the snow-covered rooftops turn pink with the true sunrise. She eats slowly, savoring every buttery fragment. When she is done, she washes her hands, turns off the light, and crawls into her own bed. The blackout curtains plunge the room into perfect darkness. She pulls the duvet up to her chin, feeling the delicious contrast between the cool linen and her warm skin. A sigh escapes her, a final release. Her mind, which has been navigating time zones and protocols, finally, gratefully, lets go. She is asleep before her next thought can form. Sophie arrives at her small studio near the Père Lachaise cemetery. She places the baguette on her counter, feeds her cat, and draws her own curtains against the now brightening day. She slides into bed, her body humming with a pleasant fatigue. As she closes her eyes, the faces from the paintings drift across her mind, the Mona Lisa's smile, the Venus's serene gaze, but they are soft now, blurred at the edges, merging into the patterns of her own dreams. Her breathing becomes slow and even. And Luc arrives home in Montrouge. He parks his taxi in its usual spot, enters his house with the quiet care of someone who knows others are sleeping, and peeks into his daughter's rooms. He then joins Claudine in their bed. She murmurs sleepily and turns toward his warmth. He puts an arm around her, fits his body into the familiar contour of theirs, and closes his eyes. The last thing he feels is the deep, steady rhythm of her breathing against his chest. He synchronizes his own breath to it, and in that perfect syncopation, he falls asleep. Now, all our friends are peacefully, deeply asleep. Jacques, Amélie, Sophie, Luc. Their night is over. Their rest is earned. And now, dear listener, it is your time. Your journey through this snowy Parisian night is complete. You have witnessed the quiet rituals, felt the gratitude, soaked in the silence. Now, let it all go. Let the images soften and fade like a photograph dissolving in water. There is only darkness now, and the sound of your own breath, and my voice, soon to fade as well. Turn all your attention inward. Feel the profound heaviness in your limbs, a comforting, warm weight that pins you gently to the bed. You cannot move, nor do you wish to. You are sinking into the deepest, plushest layers of relaxation you have ever known. With every exhale, you sink another level deeper. Deeper than thought. Deeper than dream. Into the pure, quiet core of rest. Your body is healing itself. Your cells are repairing, regenerating. Your mind is defragmenting, sorting the day, storing memories, washing itself clean with waves of slow, delta brainwaves. You are safe. You are so deeply safe. The world outside is at peace, and you are at peace within it. All is well. All is incredibly, profoundly well. I will now repeat some simple, soothing affirmations. Let them wash over you. You do not need to focus on the words, let them be like water flowing over stones, shaping them gently, effortlessly. Your subconscious mind will absorb them perfectly. I am falling into a deep, peaceful sleep. My body is heavy, warm, and completely relaxed. Every muscle is letting go. Every nerve is quieting. I am safe. I am supported. I am at peace. Sleep is healing me. Sleep is restoring me. My breath is slow and automatic, carrying me deeper. I release all thoughts. I release all cares. I am drifting in a calm, black sea of nothingness. I am asleep. I am deeply, soundly asleep. I am falling into a deep, peaceful sleep. My body is heavy, warm, and completely relaxed. Every muscle is letting go. Every nerve is quieting. I am safe. I am supported. I am at peace. Sleep is healing me. Sleep is restoring me. My breath is slow and automatic, carrying me deeper. I release all thoughts. I release all cares. I am drifting in a calm, black sea of nothingness. I am asleep. I am deeply, soundly asleep. Continue this repetitive, rhythmic pattern of affirmations, spoken slower and slower, with longer pauses between each line, for an extended period, allowing the voice to become softer, more hypnotic, until it is barely a whisper. You are now, in your own perfect sleep, nothing more to hear, nothing more to do, only to rest, and be at peace, so deeply, at peace.